Hello guys, so today I'm going to be talking about a movie that I went and saw in theaters very recently. It's a space movie. I really didn't know anything about this movie going in. I watched the trailer, but I don't know, like I hadn't heard about it until I saw another YouTuber kind of talking about it, and I was like, sounds kind of interesting, I'll go see it. So it was funny, I had gotten my ticket for an evening that I worked, and whenever I got off of work, I had maybe like 2.5 hours until the movie started, and so I came home, and I like had dinner, and I kind of like chilled, I changed, and by the time it was like maybe, I needed to leave my house in like 30 minutes, I was so tired, I was like, I'm going to fall asleep during this movie if I don't get someone to come with me. So I called up my friend, my good pal Sheena, and I said, hey man, there's this movie I got a ticket for. I know this is really weird, it's really like last minute, but like, will you come and see with me so like I don't know, fall asleep? And like a true superhero, she said yes. And so we went and saw it. The watching experience was more enjoyable than it probably should have. Probably a mix of like being extremely tired and the energy that comes with a spontaneous trip to the movie theater. I don't know. Like I felt like I was a teenager again, which I guess is kind of appropriate for the kind of maturity level of the characters, which I'll get into later. Let's just jump into the review. I'll do what I always do. I give you a little synopsis, I'll play a trailer so you see kind of what I'm talking about. You get to see a little bit of the movie, an idea of what I saw, and then you can get an idea of if you want to go see it for yourself. This movie is called Voyagers. It did release this year in 2021. It's directed by Neil Burger. He also did The Illusionist, Limitless, and Divergent. And this is set in the future, and the film chronicles the odyssey of 30 young men and women who are sent deep into space on a multi-generational mission in search of a new home. The mission descends into madness as the crew reverts to its most primal state, not knowing if the real threat they face is what's outside the ship or who is in it. This is 100% Lord of the Flies in space. It's not identical and has like lots wrong with it, but overall the story is extremely similar to the classic story of Lord of the Flies, with it being like a young adult centered movie that explores more primal urges. I appreciated not being blasted with sex scenes. I was entertained through the film, and I found myself constantly waiting to see what was next. It wasn't a huge success, but for like a space drama thriller, I left feeling satisfied paying for my ticket. I would have liked to see more gore and like damage to like their life after like the madness kind of happens, but I did really appreciate the like attention to detail about kind of the shift and when it happened and when the madness started to take over, like the paranoia. I really appreciated all of the like close details. It's almost like they chose to show a lot of detail on like them mentally changing and physically changing over like gratuitous sex scenes, which, you know, a plus choice from me. It stars Lily Rose Depp, which is Johnny Depp's daughter. I will say the only other movies that I ever saw her in was Yoga Hosers, and I believe she's in Tusk briefly, but I thought she did a really good job. I will say like her acting was not super great the first time I saw her, but to be fair, she was like much younger when those other movies came out. In this movie, I don't want to give anything away, but like part of her character is to be kind of like emotionless. But like when it came to the emotional parts, I thought she did okay. But yeah, this movie by no means is going to be like a blockbuster hit. I don't think it's going to be winning any like awards or Oscars or anything, but if you like space movies, if you like young adult kind of thriller movies, this one's really ideal. When I saw that Neil Burger also directed Divergent, I was like, that makes total sense. This gives off like a, it's not, well, I guess it is post-apocalyptic, but like it gives off one of those post-apocalyptic teen, like young adult novel to film adaptations. I don't think it's like a full horror film. I definitely think it's just like a drama thriller. So it would be unfair to say it needed more horror elements because it probably wasn't trying to be that. The Wikipedia literally just says science fiction film. I don't know, it lacked something extra, just a little something. If they were gonna go for like a full-blown like Lord of the Flies effect, I feel like it just needed to be a little bit more, I don't know, they needed to put more attention on like when shit kind of got tense. They needed to put more, like put a bigger fire under their asses, make it more scary, make it a little bit more intense. Like there almost felt like there wasn't enough at stake. I don't know, like this is definitely one of those movies that I feel like you really need to form your own opinion on it. If you are not familiar with Lord of the Flies, I feel like you would really enjoy this movie because first time going in, it would be like a unique idea to you. I'm not saying that this movie is better than Lord of the Flies. Even the black and white movie that they came out with was amazing. I read the book when I was in school, which I think a lot of people did. I feel like it just needed the story. There needed to be like more at stake. But they do a good job of like telling you kind of like, you get the vibe that these kids are going to another planet to inhabit it, because like I feel like the synopsis doesn't do a really good job of telling you kind of what's going on. These kids are made like, they're basically like test tube babies, and they're raised specifically for this mission where they are shot into space, and then it takes like 80-ish years to get to the new planet. So by the time they get there, they will be extremely old, if not dead. So they have to procreate and have kids on the ship, so that way they can, you know, inhabit the planet and populate it with their kids. I don't know, the idea is cool. Like, I like, because, you know, most science fiction films, if they're going, you know, they're being shot into space, they are put in like cryogenic sleep or something, or they're like frozen or whatever, and then they're unfrozen when they make it, and then they're good and they're fine. So it was kind of cool to see a movie do that like travel portion different. They were like, no, we're not gonna freeze you. Like, you know, maybe they just ran out of time, they didn't have the science to do it, so they were like, this is the best thing we've got. Which, hey, like that's a cool concept. It's unique. So that had it going for it, and I think that's one of the things I really like about it. I mean, yeah, I'll just keep going on and on about it. I give it 3 stars. I do feel like that's kind of high. I mean, like, it has high rewatchability. I would totally rewatch this. Or like if I see it for like $10 at my local vintage stock or something, I would totally get it. It's just, I don't know, like I said earlier, like this isn't gonna be like a big blockbuster movie. I don't feel like a lot of people are gonna agree with my take, which is fine. But I'm a big movie optimist. Try to see it for, you know, what it is, which was just like an art project. These people acted really well, and they portrayed a story, and I thought it was okay. So there you go. That's my review. Anyway, so yes, that's where I'm gonna wrap this up. Tell me your thoughts below. Did you already see it? Did you see the trailer and you're like, wow, hard pass? You know, let's talk about it. And if you don't already, you can follow me on Letterboxd. It's an app that you can download. They have a pro feature and they have a free feature. Like, you can have a free account or a pro one if you want. I'm not sponsored. There's no way I'm going to be sponsored at this point of my YouTube-ness. If you want to see what movies I'm watching, like, in real time, you can follow me. My name on Letterboxd is The Pumpkin Witch, spelled like so, somewhere on the screen. So yeah, give me a follow. I will absolutely lurk whatever movies that you put that you watch and what you rate it. So, you know, get ready for mild judgment or mutual understanding. I'm gonna go now. So thank you guys for tuning in on this video. Please look forward to the next one. I'm excited to make it. So I'll just see you then. Bye guys.